Hello and welcome, I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on this special interview on NewsX और आपका स्वागत है India News पर भी. We are of course in conversation with the entire star cast of the much awaited Thug Life. Yes, a truly pan-Indian film that's all set to release very, very soon. It's the much talked about movie hitting the screens this June. Joining us, Kamal Haasan, Trisha, STR and Abhirami. Welcome all of you. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Let me begin with you first, Kamal Haasan sir. Firstly, the title Thug Life, very intriguing. It's like a international music album. Very often raps, are conceived with this, Thug Life. But who thought of the title? Let me ask you.
I came up with it, but then anyone of us could have come up with it, but I came up with it. We were tired. I think we were shooting somewhere outside Chennai away, and it was a hot day, it was coming, and suddenly we were talking, and this came up. I had 3 titles, and one was very Sanskrit. This is Sambhavami Yuge Yuge kind of a thing. Okay. And I could almost see him cringe on the other side on the phone. Then I said, okay, I've got another one. And but think about it and then answer me. And I said, Thug Life. Okay. He said, the second title is Thug Life. Yeah, okay. It's good. That's how it was.
Okay. And that was it.
That was it. And I was traveling in a car. I still remember it. Where it happened. It happened somewhere near Kanchipuram. Okay. And I remember that moment when it's okay, I said. And then he came, then the unit members, the executive producer, all were saying, he got a good title. I said, thank you.
Great, fantastic. There's a lot of intrigue, of course, about, the project as well. The first look has really gone viral. Both your looks have also really intrigued many. The star cast is, of course, fantastic. It's an amazing ensemble from all across the country. But there's another question which, these days is being asked on social media. Is it a sequel to Nayakan? Is it a spiritual sequel? Is there no connect?
No. Spiritual, let me not get into that. Mm-hmm. I will go into what is not there in this film. This is not a sequel of Nayakan. Let me clearly, it is just 2 people who worked in Nayakan, maybe 3, 4 are there in the film. Mm-hmm. They are there in the film. They are associating with Nayakan because that is our previous film. Neither of us would be willing to do just another Nayakan. Yeah. And our intent would have been to do better than Nayakan. Go to the next class. Mm-hmm. As students of cinema, we must go to the next class. We can't stay in the same class.
Yeah, true. Trisha, it's also a reunion of sorts happening. Actually, a lot of reunions on this project. You just spoke about 3, 4 people from Nayakan being together. Yeah. You are reuniting with Simbu as well. Yeah. Abhirami is reuniting with Kamal sir. There are many more reunions happening. Yeah. So does that make it, great? There's a certain amount of comfort on set that comes from these reunions, or is there a lot of pressure as well because you've given successful projects in the past?
I think a bit of both. Comfort, definitely. Also, I'm very happy.
I forgot to say your reunion after PS with Mani Ratnam.
Of course, I was just going to bring that into consideration. The fact that I'm very blessed to have had a one-on-one with each of these individuals, and many films with Kamal sir separately, with Mani sir, of course VTV with Simbu, and I've known Abhirami for a very long time since we started our careers together. So for everyone to come to one space and people you've known and picked up so much from over the years, comfort is the right word, and I have been using that for a few other interviews before this, saying that it's my safe space. You feel so comfortable. It's like just a whole bunch of people you've grown up with over your journey that you've learned so much from, and then you're like, wow, what's this going to be? It was with that anticipation that I walked into this set.
Yeah, perfect. Coming to you now, Simbu, about the dynamics. We are intrigued to see them, of course, on the big screen of you and your real father. But how were the dynamics offset with you and the real father, Kamal Haasan?
Yeah, both are like my real father and real father. Both are my guru. So he was like teaching me when I was very young, and he used to show me Kamal sir and say, see how he's doing it at this age. Tomorrow you should also grow up and do all these things. So that's how I started singing, acting, directing, I've done everything. So all credits to both my gurus. And finally, I got the opportunity to work next to him. And yes, of course, I was very happy, and I was like, I felt very blessed, overwhelming, and everything. But who was much more happier than me was my dad. So for him, it was like he couldn't believe that, you know, we both are there in the same film together. And he started talking about all the olden days movies. This movie has done that, that movie has done this, and this combination has never come. And I was like, "Pa, even Mani sir wouldn't have, you know, thought so much about this. You're thinking so much."
I'm very sure on the show that he's watching, he'll be crying even in happy scenes. I know him personally, and he's very emotional, and he would be very happy to see this.
Yeah.
And I've told my dad, when you're watching the movie, I'm not going to be there. Because
probably have to give
from
him
the
tissues.
beginning of the film, wherever we both are together, he'll start crying. He's very
We'll
emotional.
be just handing him tissues probably.
So I said, I'm not going to be there.
Validating.
But what was the first day on set like for you?
First day, I was little nervous. I don't know how to put it. First of all, so many things were happening. So it's a Mani sir set, and Kamal sir is there, and my dad has spoken so much, and you know, so many things are happening. Should I learn here? Should I be happy here? Or should I be proud here? Or should I do my job? So it's like so many things happening around you, and then just cut, and I'm like, okay, let us just, you know, do our work properly, otherwise we can't concentrate.
Yeah.
So that's how it was.
Abhirami, coming to you, of course, you know, reuniting once again with Kamal sir, how was that for you? What has changed since when you last worked with him and him now? As he was saying in a previous interview, he learns, you know, and imbibes something from each character in each project.
Right.
What has changed from that project to this one? What did you observe on set? And also for you, how interesting was this role? Because, you know, she's in a way a buffer, if I can call it that, between the father and son as well. I'm sure there'll be different layers that'll come out when we watch the movie.
I'm not going to speak to that. But what has changed, I think, as Kamal sir himself calls himself, he's a constant student. So the amount of knowledge that he has garnered over the last 20 years from when we worked in the past, I think has transformed him in many ways. The way he approaches cinema, the kind of, excuse me, the kind of technology he brings into cinema, the kind of storytelling narrative that he adds to cinema, all of that has changed in him. And I don't know of another individual that lives and breathes cinema as much as he does. So just to be in his company is always an amazing experience for any other actor, because you get to learn so much. You sort of vicariously learn through him. He does the hard part. He goes outside and he does the hard job of learning everything and brings it to you. Like, he curates the syllabus, and then we just have to go to his class and learn it from the best teacher possible. So, but he does the hard work. He does the brunt of the work for us. And we'll all actors will always be grateful to him for doing that for us, to being the torchbearer for us. How was it to work with him again? Any day, you tell me there's a Kamal sir film, I'm there. Everything else is inconsequential. I'm there. That's how crazy a fan I am of this man, and he knows it. And add to that Mani Ratnam, add to that A.R. Rahman, add to that Trisha and Simbu, and add to that all of these other amazing people. Why wouldn't I? You know, I would be a fool to walk away from it.
Yes. You know, another thing that stands out in your movies, you know, Mr. Haasan, is the fact that, you know, you have these looks, very different looks, and each is very different from the rest. And you're carrying them, of course, all with Elan. How much work goes into conceiving those different looks, and how difficult is that for you as an actor?
Since we did it over a period of a year, I mean, before the film, I mean, it was happening slowly, it was not tedious. If the kind of work, if we fix a date and do it just for the looks, it'll take about 2 to 3 months. Because it won't sit in place like that. Even a mustache, ask an actor. If it is not our own, it makes acting difficult. Even the costume, all that we rehearse. And Mr. Mani Ratnam is the kind of director who deputes when necessary. Otherwise, he is there. To pick up a pin in the set, he will look at 6 pins and then gold. Then you look at, I'm just giving you an example. You look at Ravi K. Chandran, and he will nod, and I know what they're doing. To that detail he is going. I've seen yet another director in a behind the scenes do it. It's Polanski, Death of a Maiden, and he's looking at a set. They just has completed set, and they're lighting it, and he's going and polishing a lamp. It's a brass lamp, and he's polishing it, looking at it, polishing it. I said, this must be something important in the film. It's in the background. It's out of focus, but it should shine.
Imagine. Imagine.
It struck me because I said, what was he doing with the lamp? Everything is part of his film. That corner matters to him. And that's how Mani Ratnam is, because they are our teachers.
But you're the same way. You do that too.
Yeah.
That's what it is. For me, the sand where my enemy is going to fall, for example, in the Tevarman, we'll prep the sand.
Right.
We'll go, I will put my cheek there and I'll see, because I'm going to push him down
On that.
Yeah.
I don't want an accident on the set.
Right.
But that has to be taken care of. And how do we wield weapons which are very dangerous? They may not be sharp, but they're heavy.
For the action sequences.
So all those prep, and then finally you say, Eric, kaise director hai? Ye chhod diya. That corner I can see, us scene mein nahi tha, is scene mein. You find those bloopers. More than that, they miss certain points, dates, relationship, everything, the way characters react to each other, everything changes because they meet after every 4 months to do one scene.
Another thing interesting, that we're seeing with this film is that your release to OTT is going to happen actually after 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Again, that's something new. Do you believe that's a good decision? Because
No,
I did see
we-
Amir Khan's recent statement where he said that he believes one of the reasons why films of late haven't done so well is because the release on OTT happens too soon sometimes.
Maybe. That's what we were listening to. That reason is probably one of the reasons we went and got into a discussion like this. And because we found some logic in that statement, we have agreed to do this. And we are very confident this might become the future way to sort of balance the business out and increase the demography.
Yeah. Trisha, it's interesting that this film comes at a time when your last film's posters are also still being spotted. So how is that feeling for you? I saw today in Chennai still so many posters of Good, Bad, Ugly, and yet now Thug Life promotions begin. How's the feeling for you?
I think it was just 2024 was a year where I was only filming, and 2025 seems to be a year where I have all those film releases. So it doesn't happen every year. So this is one of those years where I have about 6 releases, and I'm really looking forward to all of them.
Okay.
I hope people out there are as well.
We all are, absolutely. Final question to you, Kamal sir, before we wrap. You've directed in the past before, you're acting in this film, producing it, co-written the script, of course, with Mani Ratnam. I believe you've written the lyrics for a song as well. You're also in public life. Is there something Kamal Haasan can't do?
Even we want to know.
There are so many things I can't do. Those things I can somewhat manage, I get into. Because life has offered me this buffet. I must try, not gorge myself with it, but I must try all the dishes. And they've been well prepared by masters.
Yeah.
So I will try whatever I'm capable of.
Okay.
If I'm incapable of it, I won't. You might ask me, then why did you go into politics? I looked at politics. Anyone can do it. We all should do it. Now we are not doing it, so now anyone can do it. So I also went into it. But I went for all of us put together, because there should be a voice. And that's why I went into politics. I don't want any chairs. I'm willing to stand and watch the show. But it must be my show, our show.
Okay. Maybe we need to have you in cricket as well. I think the Chennai Super Kings need you this season. That's a new skill that we need to get you to do. Maybe. Were you a sportsman in school?
For that, I should be in school.
Good one. I think that's a good note to wrap up on. Thank you all so much for being with us
Thank
today.
you so much.
Thank
A
you.
pleasure, and looking forward to watching this film. I think STR, your fans want to see more of you, so no gaps now as well. Trisha is not giving any gaps, you need to say. And Abhirami, pleasure as well to have
Thank
you.
you.
Kamal
Thank
Haasan, it's
you.
always a pleasure to, and looking forward to Thug Life.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Harun, welcome.